tonight's topic is the Salvation Army. They've got the red kettles out there. If you go around to many stores, Walmart, your local grocery store, you see the guys out there with the ringing bell, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Give us money, thank you. So people give money. They think they're doing good, and
I want that job.
Yeah. The people that stand out in the bitter ass cold, I wouldn't want that job. They can't go anywhere, and they're pretty much stuck in one place. So
I would have to
don't
fight the urge ringing that bell, messing with people.
Oh.
I would get fired so fast.
You probably would. But the thing is, though, the Salvation Army taking heat from the gay rights activists right now. And I'm going to put up a little graphic here. There's a voucher that's going around on the internet that they've put out. I'll read this to you. If you just in case you can't see what it says. It says, this holiday season I am supporting organizations that do not discriminate in any way against people based on sexual orientation, gender identity, or any other reason. I will not donate to the Salvation Army, and I will instead give to other charities until the Salvation Army stops discriminating against the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community in hiring, firing, and promotion in the provisions of benefits. And they have a quote right from someone that works for them. It says, George Hood, a senior official with the Salvation Army, said, the group never discriminates in delivering its services, but on the question of hiring gay employees, it really begins to chew away at our theological fabric of who we are. Washington Post, 7/10/2001. Personally, that there's going to be a link at packardpokes@wordpress.com if you want to post these out. We actually had a little discussion about this several days ago. This is why we're doing this topic right now instead of one of our other ones. If you can, I think you should print these out, and keep them with you. If you go buy a red kettle, someone, drop some bitchin' things in there. But that's just my opinion. Crystal, we're going to give you... We've changed the debate up here a little bit. And we're going to put Crystal on here. And we're going to give her a minute and a half. And then Joe's going to have 30 seconds to respond. So, Crystal, give us your take on this red kettle farce. And your time starts now.
Okay. This being my personal opinion, again, I'm not going to speak for everybody. This is my opinion on this. I think that it is terrible for them to discriminate against anyone based on their race, their sex, their sexual orientation, anything, as far as their hiring practices go. I think there is a better way to get a message to the corporate people that control this. You've got to remember that these, number one, the kettle ringers have nothing to do with it. The majority of them volunteer. The majority of people that work for Salvation Army are volunteer like myself. And the Salvation Army helps so many people, folks. And if this monetary support is withdrawn or has a big decrease, you are hurting the people that need your help the most. I am not one that discriminates, especially against sexual orientation. So it also angers me to think that they don't hire simply because you're gay or you're lesbian or you're not sure what you are. That shouldn't be a factor in how you work for them. I think that's wrong. I have nothing against writing letters, protesting. I just hope that people do not substitute this for help. This buys kids Christmas, folks. It buys...
First time I had to use the buzzer on you.
That is the first buzzer I have ever gotten. Yes!
It's because she was in favor of it.
Actually, I just have to comment here. You said that, they help people. That's called special pleading. So, just so you know. Did I take your line, Joe?
No.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Tell me that again. I didn't hear you.
I said, when you say because they help people, that's called special pleading. And... It's for me, that argument doesn't hold water, Joe. But that's not my purview on this one.
Give me another minute and a half. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to give Joe his 30 seconds now, and Joe, you have 30 seconds to respond, and your time starts now.
I disagree with everything Crystal said. She's completely wrong about everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Salt.
Salt.
Come on, you only have 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. When I heard about the anti-gay stuff, I don't typically give money to the kettle ringers, but I do shop at Salvation Army in Danbury, Connecticut. It's like the awesomest thrift shop ever. You can buy all sorts of label clothes really cheap, and they have furniture. So the only time the Salvation Army gets money is for selfish reasons when I buy things for myself.
Your time's up. Joe, you have a minute and a half, and you're going to make your case for or against, or however you want to. And your time starts now.
Okay, well, I do have a little story to tell about the Salvation Army. Years ago, I knew a young woman. She was friends of a friend and a student in New York. And when I met her, she was living at a Salvation Army home. And she had to pay a rent, but it was a lot cheaper than what she would pay if she was actually out on the apartment market. And so she was saving up money, working, being a student, so that she could one day get an apartment. And so I was talking to her about it. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know the Salvation Army had places where you can live. And she was like, yeah, it's cool, but, there's a lot of rules. And I'm like, what do you mean rules? And she's like, well, they're a religious organization, so I'm not allowed to have men over at all. I'm like, what? You're paying rent. How can they put a rule on you like that? Like, and she was in her early 20s, and I'm just like, how can they put a rule on you like that? What is it their business? They're your landlord. How is it their business if you're going to get some or not,
Mm-hmm.
But that was the rule. I think there was even a nun in charge of it, that watched who was coming in and out of the building. So, that was my first impression of Salvation Army. Before that, I'd never thought of it, in any way other than, oh, you just give them $1 when you come out of the store and somewhere along the line somebody's getting help. But then, years later, I learned about the gay thing, and I was like, oh, that's not cool. And one blog I looked at did say that they used some of their money to lobby Congress and state legislatures against gay marriage. But I haven't been able to verify that. I didn't have enough time to research it before the show, so I don't know if that's true.
Sorry, Joe.
And that's where I'm going to end.
Good timing. Good timing. All right, Crystal, you have 30 seconds for your response. And your time starts now.
Yeah, I do know what Joe's talking about, and I know that it is part of their, and it probably is a nun that keeps track of who comes and goes. I think when you're desperate for help, you will follow the rules, and I think sometimes that can be a great thing, and sometimes that can be against what you hold dear, or your morals, or your beliefs. So just don't take away from the people that need the help. That's all I have to say. Under the buzzer.
Oh, you just made it. Yep. I didn't have to give you. I didn't have to buzz you on twice on that one. So, but no, there are a lot of other personally, in my opinion, that there is a lot of other charities out there that you can contribute to that will help people who need or are in need, and they do not have these stupid ass religious based rules. Please, if you're going to go out there and you're going to donate to a charity, donate to one of these other ones.